Rock Pat here. Alright guys, got back to the shop after visiting on my old grandpa's old workshop. And just to clarify to everybody, I never worked at that shop. My grandfather worked at that shop. He took me to work with him when I was a teenager during the summers. So during, like, you know, when we were out of school, I would get to go to work with my grandfather. So that's the clarification. My first job as a mechanic was at Mike Hall Chevrolet, way about probably 60 miles away from there. Okay, anyway, back to what we were talking about. What I went down there to Texas City for was to pick up this. This is a, well, it was advertised as a 94 350 and a 700 R4, but it's not. It's neither a 94 engine nor a 94 transmission. It's a, I'm gonna say it's a probably 88, 89 engine. Reason why I say that is because it is drilled for the the fuel pump, mechanical fuel pump, where I think in 90 or so they stopped drilling them. So that way you know if it, about what year that is. Plus, we've got a throttle cable on the 700 R4. So there's a phenomenon going on right now. Everybody wants the LS. So what do you think's happening with the small block? Okay, this is everybody. Every hot rod has to have an LS. You know, that should have an LS. That one out there should have an LS. That one should have an LS. Hell, this one should have an LS. So everybody's pulling these out and they're selling them for next to nothing. I bought this unit right here, this setup, $125, $125. This is supposed to have a blown head gasket. Apparently, the guy said that it was getting water in one of the cylinders on this side. Maybe number 3 right there. They got the plug out, but when I looked inside the valve there, it looks like it's pretty clean. Like maybe possibly it's had some water blowing through it, cleaning it. So we're going to tear this one apart and see what's going on with it. If it's nothing but a head gasket, we'll replace the head gasket, send the heads out and have them milled, and possibly do a valve job on them and go from there. The transmission's supposed to work just fine. I finally got the title to the little S10 sitting outside. I've been waiting on a 700 R4 for it because the 2.8 liter 700 R4 will not work behind a small block. So I needed a small block 700 R4, finally found one, $125. We're gonna stuff that one in there. And if all this needs is a head gasket, I may go ahead and just use this engine for the S10 as well and get that running. It's kind of like a small block fest over here. We got small blocks everywhere. This one came out of a 94 Suburban, and it is going to go into my tow truck driver buddy, his pickup truck. But as soon as I take the one out and put this one in his truck, I'm keeping the one that's in it in the state that I'll have all everything you see right here. I'll end up with again. That's kind of the deal I got with him. I keep the engine and everything, so that gets me another 350. And this is the 350 that came out of the S10 Blazer I bought a week or so ago. That's up at Leggett, and it's had water ingested into the, well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it, and I don't have a flashlight over here. Yeah, I do. Hang on. Let's get a flashlight. It's had some water down in it, and I can't turn it completely over. So the next video that I do, I'm gonna load this one, and then we're gonna do a video on disassembling this engine and seeing what's wrong with it and everything. If nothing else, I've got a good set of heads. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I'm hoping that the block is good and I can take crackhead out of Leroy and swap blocks. Keep all the guts out of crackhead, because everything's fine in that zone. We just got a starter problem and a crack in the side of the block and everything. and then we can fix everything else. And then I'm probably gonna go put 30 bucks into Leroy for the time being until we get a good 350 running for him. Over here, this Vortec is a 96 up type Vortec engine. I've got two sets of heads for these engines. These are both the same engines. And I have yet another one right here, but it's pretty crusty on the valve train. It rolls over smooth. The bottom end's good, but the cams and lifters and everything are shot. Biggest problem with these Vortec engines is these camshafts are stupid expensive, and as you can see, that one ain't in too good a shape. So, you know, it looks good all up in here, but then, yeah, it ain't gonna work. So I got to get a camshaft for this one, disassemble this Vortec. This one's supposed to have a good camshaft in it, but again, like I said, it's got a crack right there, and I'm not gonna play that game anymore when I got a good block right here. So I'm probably gonna take the cam out of that one and just see what we can do and make one engine out of these two right here, and see if we can get it fired up and put it on the stand and get them running and everything. Got a free intake from my buddy Steve, and he provided me with yet another free intake. So I am good there. Still short carburetors. I like my Rochester Quadrajets. You might be a Holly guy, but y'all saw that one run right there. I rebuilt that one. So, all right, guys. Well, that's about what's going on over here right now. I got to get this thing out the back of my truck and split apart and on a stand. So y'all keep rocking and a rolling and a rolling and a rocking. And I'm going to keep buying them down. Talk to y'all next time. It's another day in the jungle.